my living room. It may sound a little echoey in here. I had to rearrange all my furniture so I could put this number line up for you. So we've been working with the number line, but today we're going to be adding on this number line. So we're going to add with positive numbers and negative numbers. Negative is the opposite of positive, right? That's what we talked about in the first week, that a negative number is the opposite of the positive. So when we're adding, we do the opposite, right? So we're going to do the opposite motion. So when you add a positive number, you walk forward or to the right on the number line, right? So 5 plus 2, I'm going to walk forward 2 spaces. So I'm going to do the opposite when I add a negative. All right, adding a negative number, I'm going to moonwalk backwards, so I'm going to step backwards. All right, so to the left on the number line. So 1, 2. All right, I would be at 3. And you can show this work by using a pen, and you can draw like the little jumps or little steps. You can use an arrow at the end of it to show the direction. The arrow is kind of hard to see because of the color, so I'll do it here in blue again. So you can see that arrow. All right, and I can circle the 5. Right, that was my starting place. I added a negative 2, so I'll write it above, and I'll circle 3 because that was my answer. Right, I could do the same thing above here, right? Circle the 5, do my 2 jumps with a little arrow so you can see the direction of it, the direction I was jumping, so that I know I ended on 7. All right, so since negative is the opposite of positive, that is why we are moonwalking backwards when we add a negative. So here's a couple of rules to doing that. Well, we're going to use these guys here that you've seen, the forwards and backwards, right? The moonwalk and the walk. So when we add a positive number, we're going to go towards the positive side and we're going to walk. So we're going to walk forwards. Right? When we add a negative number, we're going to go towards the negative side and we are going to moonwalk. So that would be heading backwards. You don't want to moonwalk, you can just take a step back, but we'll be moonwalking backwards. Right? My moonwalk is not the best, all right, but I'm trying, okay? But I also have to keep track of where I'm at, so be understanding. So we've got a few different examples we're going to go through today, and then you're going to do this on your own on the assignment. All right, so we're going to start off with a nice and easy one. 2 plus 2. We've got 2 positive numbers. 2 plus 2. So we add 2 positives. Is our answer going to be positive or negative? Well, let's try it out. So we're going to start at 2 here. And then we're adding 2, so we're going to walk forwards. 2 steps. 1, 2. Here I am. 2 plus 2 equals 4. All right, so a positive plus a positive makes another positive number. So we've got 2 and we've got negative 1. We're going to talk about these as like bigger and smaller right now. So 2 is bigger because it's a further distance from 0. Negative 1 is only 1 away from 0. So we say it's bigger when it has a bigger distance. So we've got a bigger positive with a smaller negative, negative 1. So what do you think? Will our answer be positive or negative? Well, we're going to try it out. So we're going to start at 2. So here I am at 2. And then plus negative 1. So that means I'm going to moonwalk back 1. All right. So here we go. And I ended here at 1. So 2 plus negative 1 equals 1, which is still a positive number. So 2 plus negative 1 equals 1. Positive 2 plus negative 5. So 2 is only 2 away from 0. Negative 5 is 5 spaces away from 0. So we've got a smaller positive with a bigger negative in this case. So smaller positive, big negative. What do we think? Are we going to end on the positive side or the negative side? Let's try it out. So we're going to be starting at 2 again. Adding negative 5. So we're going to moonwalk 5 spaces, which is a lot of spaces to keep track of. So I'm going to try my best here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was a really bad moonwalk, by the way. So 2 plus negative 5 makes negative 3. Negative 3. All right. So a small positive plus a big negative is going to give me a negative answer. Let me try negative 2 plus negative 2. When we added 2 positives, it was a positive answer. Now we're going to add 2 negatives. What do you think it'll be? Positive or negative? Well, let's try it. So we're going to start at negative 2 because that's our first number. So we're going to add negative 2. And I'm going to add negative 2. So that means I'm going to moonwalk back 2. All right. 1, 2. So here I am at negative 4. All right. So negative 2 plus negative 2 equals negative 4. Another negative number. So you can say a negative plus a negative makes another negative. Negative 2 plus 1. So negative 2 is 2 spaces away, and 1 is 1 space away from 0. So looks like we've got a bigger negative and a smaller positive. What do you think our answer is going to be? Positive or negative? Well, let's find out. So we're going to start at negative 2. And we're adding a positive 1, so that's just a step forwards. Here we are. Negative 2 plus 1 makes negative 1. So negative 2 plus 1 equals negative 1. Another negative answer. So when your negative is bigger, you're going to have a negative answer. Have a negative answer. Next one, we've got negative 2 plus 5. Negative 2 plus 5. So we've got negative 2 is only 2 spaces away from 0, while 5 is 5 spaces away. So we've got a smaller negative with a bigger positive. So what do we think? Is it going to end a positive or negative? We're starting at negative 2. And then we're adding positive 5. So it's going to be 5 steps forwards. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that ends us at 3. So negative 2 plus 5 equals 3, which would be a positive number. So whichever one is bigger kind of tells you what your ending is going to be like. So it's really useful when you got bigger numbers that you can't really fit on this number line. But now I've got a special one I want to look at, our opposite pairs. Going along the theme of negative 2, let's start at negative 2 and we're going to add its partner 2. All right, so negative 2 plus 2, just 2 steps forwards. 1, 2. So negative 2 plus 2 equals 0. What if they're the other way around? What if we start at 2 and we add negative 2? I'm going to moonwalk back 2 spaces. All right. So here we are at 0 again. So when you add an opposite pair, they kind of undo each other and you'll end right back at 0. So when you add opposite pairs, they're going to equal 0. All right, use these patterns today and these movements as you work on your assignment. All right, you got this.